Hey guys, it's been so long since I've filmed a sit down video. I am almost done sharing our August vlogs on my channel, so check those out if you haven't. I think I have one more that I'm going to share after this, and then I'm going to do like a trip report video after that. So it was such a great trip. We made so many memories. It was such a tiring trip because it was so hot, and we had a 2-year-old and he was about 9 months old at the time with us, and it was just a lot of getting babies in and out of strollers and carrying them, but so much fun. So check those vlogs out if you haven't. We also have another trip, just my husband and I, coming up in November. Not to Disney, but it will be to a park that's on my bucket list. So I will give that little teaser, and I'll be sharing more about that probably in my Disney trip report vlog. I'll have like a little announcement of where we're going. So make sure you're subscribed because that's going to be a lot of fun, a lot more relaxing than our August trip to Disney with all of our kids. So anyway, the reason I'm jumping on here today is just to make a little casual video because Disney made an announcement about a week ago that they are kind of adding a whole tier, I guess you could call it. That's not what Disney calls it, but to their Lightning Lane system. And I found out about this about a week ago, and I had lots of feelings about it. So I guess I just wanted to share. I wanted to play devil's advocate a little bit too, and mostly I want to hear your thoughts. So make sure you leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the new system, because it has definitely ruffled some feathers. But let's talk about it. Okay, so this news about the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass that we're going to talk about today actually came about a week ago. So I was doing like a screen time fast last week, actually. I was trying not to be on my phone while my kids were awake, hardly at all, just to sort of cleanse my system, and it was really great. Like, I totally recommend that every once in a while. I feel like my brain was more clear, but anyway, that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But it was funny because usually I am one of the first people to know about like Disney news because I follow so many Disney accounts on all of my social media and everything. But since I wasn't really on social media, my husband actually texted me. I was in the middle of my like stay-at-home mom day, just doing some laundry while my kids were napping, and he sent me this text like, "Did you hear about the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass?" And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" So he explained it to me. Basically, he said, and if you're not familiar, this is what it is. They are not getting rid of the old Lightning Lane system. So Lightning Lane multi-pass, Lightning Lane single pass, whatever vocabulary they're using these days, those are staying, which in my trip recap video, we will talk about those because I think there are some problems there, but that's for another day too. But with this new Lightning Lane Premier Pass, it's like a whole nother level. So it's similar to Universal. So my husband's telling me about this like through text during the day, and he's saying it's basically how Universal does it, where you pay this fee. We'll talk about the fee in a minute. It's large. So you pay this fee, and basically you have a Lightning Lane for every ride, even the like single pass rides, the really popular ones, for the entire day. And unlike the multi-pass system that we have now, you don't have to worry about times. You don't have to worry about running out for like a certain ride for the day, which was a big problem on our trip. So basically you pay, you get Lightning Lanes for every ride all day long, and it doesn't matter what time you go. But you can only go to each ride once. So that to me is a bit of a drawback. But anyway, that's what this system is. So very similar to Universal, which I like that system. I think it's much easier. You just pay the fee and you're good to go for the day. You're not constantly on your phone, refreshing, trying to figure out times, trying to coordinate with, dining reservations or whatever else you have going on for the day. So that's great. That's all good so far. So naturally, I was wondering what the cost for this will be. And it sounds like it could be up to, now this is probably the most expensive it could possibly be, but up to $400 a day per person, which is ridiculous. That's on top of your park entry. Like, what? Are you kidding? And I mean, some days in some parks are less expensive. So that's like the extreme end. But as soon as he said that, I'm like, well, we're never doing that. Like, we're never going to be able to afford that. And I feel like that's probably true of most people. So I was kind of like, okay, Disney, the audacity, like, come on, let's read the room a little bit here. A lot of us are struggling to buy groceries, and you're going to offer this hugely expensive add-on. So I was like, kind of like, that's my initial response was like, that's ridiculous. That's tone deaf of Disney to roll that out right now with the climate of the way things are in the world and in our country right now. So I was like a little bit annoyed already. But then I was like, well, Universal, it's pretty expensive, but like for me, I'm willing to pay that to skip all the lines because it's not quite $400 expensive. But I know at Universal that if you're staying at a deluxe resort, you can get Express Pass for free, which I think is a great perk for staying at a deluxe resort. So my next question for Luke was, well, is it going to be free if you stay at a deluxe resort? And here's where Disney really lost me. He's like, no, it's not free. And also you only qualify if you're staying at a deluxe resort. So that was even more like, okay, Disney, you're like only letting rich people who can afford not only to stay in a deluxe resort, but who can also afford to spend like $400 per person per day for this system. But I was just like really annoyed initially. That was my initial response. I was like, okay, Disney's trying to price us out. Like, this is so tone deaf of them right now. We are struggling. Everyone's struggling to get by right now. I was seriously annoyed, and I still kind of am. But let's kind of play devil's advocate and look at the other side of it too. So after the news had kind of been able to sit with me for a couple days, and I listened to a couple of podcasts, a couple of other people's opinions on it, and I kind of realized like, okay, Disney, this is pretty tone deaf of you. I feel like you're catering to all the rich people and you are money hungry right now. You're just trying to get money in any way that you can. And I still think that is all true. But I'm also thinking this Lightning Lane Premier Pass is not really going to affect me in any way, at least not any major way. Now, if they had changed their prices for admission to the park to $400 a day, like that would be a problem. I would be done with Disney if that were to happen. But I have to remind myself, like, this is optional. Like, I don't have to buy this. And in fact, I never will ever buy this because my family can't afford it. We just can't. And I think that's true of most families, like I said before. I mean, never say never, but I really don't think that my family will ever think that it's worth that much money to purchase this. So I was thinking about it though, and I'm like, is it hurting me if somebody else has enough money to pay for this and decides that it's worth it for their trip? No. The only way that it might affect me is that when I go, maybe the lines will be slightly longer because of these people who are getting this Premier Pass. I'm not even sure if that's true though. We'll have to see once it starts on October 30th. So we will have to see how it affects things. But I think that's the only way that it might like affect my life. And really, I can wait a couple more minutes. It's not a big deal. I think that people are kind of getting up in arms, but we have to remind ourselves this is optional. And I think they want it to be, at least I hope they want it to be something that's a little bit limited that not many people are getting, because if everybody could afford it, the lines would not be short. The Lightning Lane lines would be the same length as the standby lines. So I think Disney might have, that a little bit in mind with their strategy with how crazy the prices are for this. So it originally really irked me and annoyed me, and like I'm not 100% like behind the way that the company is being run right now. I think they're just trying to nickel and dime us. I really do. But at the end of the day, I love Disney World and I will continue to bring my family back. This isn't something that's going to stop me from going there. It's just going to make me roll my eyes a little bit, maybe. But like I said, if you can afford it, more power to you, because I think it would be an amazing day. I don't think there's going to be a ton of people that are going to think that this is worth the price. But I mean, Disney might as well try and see. And usually they can get people. I mean, I feel like the last time I had this reaction is when I found out the prices for the Galactic Star Cruiser. I was like, are they serious? Is this a joke? Is it April Fool's Day? Is it really that expensive? And we all know how that turned out. So if you're not familiar, it closed very, very quickly after it opened. So I think we'll see how this goes. I feel like there will be people that will be willing to pay this. I'm not, and we get to each individually decide for ourselves. So let me know what you think. Do you think this is ridiculous of Disney? Has it completely like turned you off from the company? Or are you like me and you're just kind of rolling your eyes a little bit and thinking like, okay, this is a little tone deaf, this is a little greedy of the company, but it's not really going to affect my life in any way, so I can move on and not really worry about it too much. Let me know what you think. I would love to discuss it in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe if you want to see a lot of fun Disney vlogs and some other parks coming up soon. And I also post about a lot of Disney tips and tricks. And I love for you to join my little community here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching today. Next, I will be posting, like I said, our last vlog from our August trip. I think it's a good one. I had a really, really sweet last day at specifically Epcot with my little ones. And I'm glad I have those memories, but I'll be sharing that and then our trip recap. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And thank you so much for watching and have a great Halloween, because right now it is a week from Halloween. So whatever you're celebrating, I hope that you have a blessed day.